Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the second season of the ever-popular Spongebob Squarepants.
Perfect for summer.
Yes.
Now we continue down memory lane of the classic seasons of SpongeBob with season 2, including the greatest episode ever, Geeks!
Yes. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, notification, let updates on future podcasts from all the Paws videos.
Sweet.
Yes. That's the standout episode of the season and the series.
Yes.
Now for here, there were quite a few episodes, and we actually got this on DVD. We were able to rent it, actually. And it had been a long time since we had seen some of these episodes, but the thing was, when we saw them, we remember majority of them. I think, like, every single one I remembered. Did you remember, like, all of them?
I was surprised at how many I remember. I definitely did not remember all of them, but I was surprised that I did remember more. And I thought I would.
Okay.
Of course, I remember this one.
Right.
Now, I want to point out quickly before we get started, Playmaker, who's a member of the Rascal family, unlike him, he owns all of the SpongeBob seasons and the movies. And
yes.
He has a video where he shows them all to you on his channel. Check it out.
Yes, definitely. And you know, we've only seen, rewatched so far 2 seasons, but it's really amazing to see how well the old episodes hold up. Because this one, I remember all the episodes. There might be 1 or 2 scenes I don't recall, but aside from that, I remember all the episodes. They were that memorable.
And also, you have this gift where you can remember not only the episodes, the name of the episode number. I can mention a scene. You can tell me, oh, that was this episode number. It was the beginning, middle, or end. I mean, you just have a gift for that. So,
well, for here, everything about it, like, we can see the staples of SpongeBob. We can still see it being referenced on YouTube, on Nickelodeon itself, as memes and everything. And it really shows how different the writing was in the early seasons to the ones after the film. Because we learned that the SpongeBob Squarepants movie, the first one, was meant to be the end of the series, but Nickelodeon wanted to keep it going, so when it started getting to season 5 and 6 and stuff, you could tell the quality was sort of kind of wavering in the storytelling. But seasons 1 through 4 are such high caliber, they're so creative, they're hilarious, that you remember them no matter what.
Yes, definitely. And again, I was surprised at how many I did remember. And what I really love about, as you mentioned, the earlier seasons is how they were fun. And sometimes they were ridiculously fun.
Right.
But a lot of them were really still grounded with a lesson. Even though you were laughing hysterically and it was crazily brought to you, there were still lessons within each episode.
Right. It was sort of like, actually you mentioned like Danny Phantom in the first 2 seasons, where despite it being a superhero show about fighting ghosts, there was relatable things for teens that they were supposed to learn from each episode.
Definitely. And then, of course, in season 2, you just got even more familiar with the main characters.
Right.
SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Sandy Cheeks.
Right.
Mrs. Puff. You got to know them more than you did in season 1.
Right.
You got to love them more than in season 1.
Right.
And you got to see more of their, I guess you could say, their home lives and how they were outside of work.
Yes.
And things of that nature.
And I know there's a lot of people that have favorite episodes in here. So before we get to the obvious one for season 2, of course, are there any episodes that were your favorites in here, or no? Because
yes, but here's the thing. You know I'm not going to remember them all by name.
Oh, crap.
So why don't you name your favorites, and I'll tell you if some of those are my favorite or not, and if you don't, then I'll tell you, well, what about this episode? And you can tell me the name of it.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay. Okay, well, the obvious one, of course, is Band Geeks.
Yes.
That's an automatic favorite. I loved Grandma's Kisses, where they had Marion Ross as SpongeBob's grandmother.
And Patrick being the hypocrite.
Right? We're supposed to be adults! The smoking peanut. Of course, I know you remember that one. It was crazy. This is the secret box, where the whole episode was just, what is in the box? What is in the box? And
he tells us what it is, but we never see it ourselves either.
Right. And Actually, there's quite a few. Those are the ones I remember off the top of my head. And there's just so many because there are actually quite a few this season. Oh, also,
Alaskan bullworm.
Oh yes, the Alaskan bullworm.
Yes, that's one of my favorites.
Wormy and chocolate with nuts.
Yes.
Those were my favorites, and they're not even that
And
long.
also the one where Sandy hibernates.
Oh, pre-hibernation.
Bother her.
Oh, survival of the idiot.
Yes, yes.
And it's like some things they did in there to her. It's like, you know what? We know they're supposed to be childlike. They're like kids and the things they do. But this one time they kind of deserved the punishment they got. It's like, come on, you know better than to do this.
Yes. And the first Christmas.
Christmas who? Oh yes, of course that's a favorite too.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, that was the very first Christmas episode. And the only one until over a decade later when they do It's a SpongeBob Christmas when it's done the style of Santa Claus coming to town. It's like, why didn't you do another one? Why did it take you this long to do one? Because both Christmas episodes are hilarious in their own way.
And you have to see our podcast on that one. If you haven't, you'll see it in the upper right corner come up sometime during this podcast because it is one of our most popular. And we absolutely love the episode because Tom Kenny wrote it.
Yes. And now that you mentioned that, the voice actors. I mean, we know everybody in here: Tom Kenny, Bill Fagerbakke, Bumper Robinson. All these people are iconic for playing these roles. And what's funny is that you hear the line deliveries in here, and they're all just having fun doing these roles. No matter what, it's just hilarious, and it really says testament to how much everyone worked together in these roles and the lines and stuff. And that's what makes it so memorable. All of the right ingredients were in it.
I think the one that's really most surprising is Mr. Krabs' voice actor.
Yes, Clancy Brown.
Because he's known for doing a lot of serious roles live action.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I first learned that this was the same man doing Mr. Krabs, I remember it was like,
right.
And you learn that talk about range, he's got range.
Right. And then I think one of the episodes definitely shows is they do one episode where the Krusty Krab hasn't had business in like weeks. And they got this guy looks like he's been in a desert. He needs food. There's no food, water, 3 days. And he says, you got money, right? Yeah. Okay, bring him a Kirby card. Like, why do you have money? You didn't buy any food. And then here you go. He said, Krabby Patty? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Well, where is the pizzazz? What? No, I mean, look at this place. What's the theme here? Underwater? It's boring. So he left. Food, water, atmosphere. It's like you are starving and you care about the atmosphere of the place. It's like, how sad is this? Or this restaurant?
But how hilarious it is, and this is one of the benchmarks of the earlier seasons.
Right.
It's things that are ironic and hilarious.
Atmosphere. It's like, what?
And your childhood. And what's funny is you think about it now, how you can appreciate all of the different parts and elements of the series that, of course, you weren't aware of when you were little watching it. But now you can really appreciate what this show brought to animation and to TV. Now we know there are some people in Nickelodeon that say SpongeBob ruined Nickelodeon. However, I'm gonna say the earlier seasons were brilliant, and they were a breath of fresh air and something different than wasn't out there. They definitely were not Teen Titans Go when they originally premiered.
Right.
SpongeBob was something that was really needed in terms of having something different to watch and to show that there was more than one way to make an animated series and different characters that hadn't been seen to date. Stephen Hillenburg was definitely a pioneer and a trailblazer in animation.
Right. And last episodes we should definitely talk about is besides procrastination, where it was exactly what the title is. Just SpongeBob writing an essay when I do the stoplight. And he does everything else but write the essay. Especially the point where you think he's writing all these pages and stuff out and the thesis and everything gets finished. Okay, and then he wrote, in fancy letters. Oh, making great time. It's like, you wrote one word. It took you 8 hours to draw one word. gotta say best for last is Band Geeks. And it's considered the greatest SpongeBob episode ever made.
Absolutely.
And it still holds up because one year people wanted Band Geeks to play Sweet Victory at the Super Bowl. They signed a petition, they kept pushing for it. And when they had a little bit of animation at the Super Bowl, we watched a halftime for it. People thought, oh, they're gonna play because it was the perfect thing, because in the show they play at a Super Bowl with the footage of live action people. And they never did it, and people were so furious because it was the perfect opportunity to play this. But for the episode itself, everything about it was great, and it was one of the few episodes, or the first episode, that really focused on Squidward. And you felt bad for him. It's like he just needs this one win, and everybody in Bikini Bottom helps him to do it. And from the main characters, the side ones, Plankton, even the background fish you always see end up being main characters.
And you couldn't believe how much talent they actually had and how far they were willing to go to help them. So yes, this is absolutely my favorite episode of all time of SpongeBob.
Right.
So, we know you've seen SpongeBob Season 2. Let us know what you think in the comments below. When did you watch it? Do you still watch it? How do you think it compares to the current seasons that are out now? Who's your favorite character? Let us know it all in the comments.
Yes. And be sure to like, subscribe, notification updates on future podcasts and all the past videos.
And was it a part of your childhood? Or like me, were you watching it with someone else and it wasn't your childhood, but you wish it had been? Let us know in the comments.
So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Mask Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.